just goes. Hi, my name's Kylie, and you will never guess I am launching my own show. And you might think I look a bit different because last time you saw me, like I would have been, say, I don't know, school kid, because I was a child star. And guess what happened? Well, comedy company, well, its producers, Marianne Faye and Ian McFadgen, they just ruined my whole life. And so I've got a really tragic childhood. And so I decided I'm not going to let them get away with it. So out of spite, I'm doing this new show, and it's really professional. And I have to do it at my nan's house though, because we're in lockdown, but it's going to be so good. It's where I interview people. So you'll never guess who I've got today. It's Paul Jennings.
Hi, Kylie.
Hi, Paul. Now, someone said like that your autobiography, Paul Jennings Untwisted, it was sort of all about you. So don't you think that's a bit narcissistic?
Yes, because it's an autobiography.
Oh, so autobiography is when it's about you?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, that's the one I want to write. I would not want to write one about somebody else. Now, I was just going to ask you if you wouldn't mind, like, just because I'm the star of the show and everything, like, it's really hard for me to be my own camera person. So do you reckon you could, like, hold this? You could be our cameraman today. And just, if you could keep it really, really steady and be, like, but just make sure you get me in shot all the time, okay? And just, just hold it and try and keep me in shot. What?
I'm not really very good at this.
Well, no, you're not. You just keep shaking it. Try not to shake it. God, you're a really crap cameraman.
Well,
Lucky you were a writer. And you've got to be in it too. So, yes, if you could, like, you've got to make me look really good. Like, and no, that's no good.
Usually on interviews they have a camera person.
Yeah, well, I can't afford a camera person. Honestly.
I'm not used to being a camera person.
God, you don't just come onto people's shows and complain about everything as soon as you get on the interview. Like,
I'm not complaining, I'm just...
You were complaining. I know, I spoke to his publicist, and guess what? She told me he's a real prima donna.
They did not.
Yeah, and she also told me he's deaf, so he probably didn't hear that. So we are not a completely professional outfit yet. We will be soon. So you just can't come here and like expect star treatment, because anyway, there are so many people who during the coronavirus have written their memoirs. Everyone's writing a biography. Like, I've got so many people lined up at my front door just trying to get on my show. It was, I've got a memoir. It's like that's why it's got to be a special memoir. That's why the only people I will interview are famous people, because they're just, I don't know, more interesting.
Well, I'm very grateful that you're having me.
Okay. So guess what? Oh, you are my very first guest.
Oh, wow, your very first guest.
Yeah, because I figured I will launch it with, like, not just a has-been, but a real has-been.
Oh, thank you.
Like me, because, I mean, you write about that stuff in your autobiography, don't you?
I don't remember using the phrase has-been, actually.
Oh, people can get really sensitive. So,
well, I'm still here.
yeah, and I am so glad you're still here, because guess what? My mum is coming over soon, and it's her birthday, and she's really sweet on you. She just thinks you are eating a bit.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to know that I'm not a has-been with her anyway.
Well, she's sort of hoping, like, and this is true, this is just before she went out, she said, Kylie, find out if he is available. Would you like to go on a date with my mum? Because guess what? If he did, I could call him my stepdad, Paul Jennings.
Well, you know...
What's wrong with your finger?
Nothing's wrong with my finger, but it does have a ring on it.
But Mum will just be happy with a one-night stand.
No.
Or anything.
Look, it's a very happy, satisfactory relationship with a very lovely person. And
So who is it?
so,
Who are you married to?
well, Mary Ann Fay, and she's a very nice person. I don't think we should talk much more if you're going to be like that, because she is a lovely person, and
No, she isn't.
you have to respect other people's relationships. You can't expect me to sit here if you're going to be running down someone.
Just because you're like her partner. What if I was talking to Hitler's wife and she kept saying, "Oh, you can't say anything mean about Hitler because, guess what? I'm his wife." I'm just giving you a really good warning to get out of that relationship while you can, because you are sucked in, chewed up, spat out and trodden upon. Because my mum is so in love with you, and if you were about available, she would be in like Flynn. I promise you, she just loves you.
Well, I'm very flattered to know that, but I'm fixed up for the moment.
Well, don't say you weren't warned.
But we've already been together 8 years, and everything's going really nice, and I'm sure your mum's a lovely lady, but
Probably only 1 month, but it feels like 8 years.
I heard that one too. So
You're
anyway,
not as deaf as they say. So, yeah, I just want to ask you a few questions now.
yeah, that's what I came for.
Oh, okay. Do you think your autobiography would be better than, say, Morris Gleitzman's?
Well,
It would be different, wouldn't it?
well, it would be different. Yes. Well, you can't really answer a question like that because
Or do you think it would be better than, say, John Marsden's or, say, Andy Griffith's?
well,
Or you can't
I'm
answer
sure
that one
their
either.
lives are equally, if not more, interesting than mine. But so I can't really say to compare it with things that I haven't actually read.
Okay. Like, I was thinking I might write a memoir myself, and that was another reason I got you on the show and everything, because, like, I thought I'm really hoping that publishers will be watching this show and that they'll just ring me up. But if they don't, and I'm just wondering, given I now know you, I could give it to you to read and you could give it to your publisher. And notice this, people watching, send all your manuscripts to Paul and he will get them published. Is that right?
Oh, no. No. I don't have any influence on getting things published.
He does.
One thing you have to understand is that
He's so nice. He
when
won't say
people
no.
do send you manuscripts, it takes a long time to read them, and so authors are not necessarily good in saying what's a good book or not. They know what
Send them to him.
they can do, but I'm not a very good judge of other people's books.
No, just say he's so modest. That's what I picked that up flicking through. He's so modest. He'd be a really good judge. Send all your manuscripts to him.
Thank you.
But I'm thinking that I might do what you did and because don't you have an alcohol problem or something?
No.
Oh, it must have been a different autobiography that I read.
Yes,
And did you have a drug problem?
No.
Well,
Did you actually read the biography, Kylie?
no, but I flipped through it. I really did skim your book, but quite deeply. And
I think that skim reading a book deeply is a bit of an oxymoron.
well, I wouldn't call you names.
I'm not calling you a name, I'm saying it's a contradiction.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I did flip through it and they had some really good things in it, but I just thought you would have ended up in a clinic or something like that, or else what's the autobiography actually about?
Well, some things do happen to people that are interesting and not ending up in clinics or taking drugs.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. It said you had broken marriages like stacks. So that was pretty interesting because I've had broken marriages.
You yourself have.
Yeah. Cool. I'll show you the book. Okay. Here is Paul's book. You can pick it up at any good bookshop and flick through it like I did. But don't buy it because books are quite expensive. Just flick through it. You just get the gist. So it's really good, Paul.
Thank you. Thanks, Kylie.
Did you really love being famous and walking down the street and people going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, are you Paul Jennings?
Well, I think I probably had an experience which might not have been all that different to your own, which is, it's very well to be well known, and in the papers and on television and so on. But you do pay a price for it, and sometimes you can have your ego can get out of control, and you think you're a bit better than what you are, and that's.
No, I was when I was famous. I was so cool.
Well,
Like, yeah. I will never forgive Marianne Fahey and McFadden for what they did to me. Psychopaths.
no, well, I wasn't like that. I got a bit of a big head, and so
What'd you do?
I've talked about it in the book, the problems that you have and how it can, instead of making you happy, it can make you unhappy, and that's something you have to come to terms with. And I think people might be interested to know about a person's struggles.
So is that what
be
your
interested
book's
in yours?
about?
Partly,
Oh,
not all.
what else?
Well, it's.
Do you like divulge anything interesting?
But I did say to my editors before I started that if there's anything boring in this book, tell me and I'll take it out. And I did. They did, and I did. And so I'm hoping that it's interesting, but that's for the reader to judge.
Well, that's so. What I should have said was, buy this book because there are no boring bits. All the boring bits cut out.
Yes.
Cool. Because I hate the boring bits in books. I don't even know why they write them for. So, oh, and you will never guess, I have got a scoop for this show because guess what? It is 30 years since Round the Twist was on TV. Is that right?
That seems a long time ago, doesn't it?
I know. And guess what? It's 30 years since I was on TV. So we should join Pinkies.
Wow.
I know. That's like 60 years between us. Cool.
And we look a bit older, don't we?
Well, you do. I don't.
So what was that tape you were putting behind your neck when I was coming in?
That is because my cat bit me. Like some people have facelifts and all sorts of things, but I would never do that. That cat is really vicious. It always goes for the back of your neck, just about here, and run to here. It's a big scratch. So, I've got to be honest and say that one of the reasons, I mean, I just loved your work when I was a kid. So, but I did ask you over because it is actually my mum's birthday and she will be coming home soon and we've got a birthday cake and everything. And you are the surprise and it would just be so good if like when mum comes in, what I was really hoping is could you put the birthday hat on?
Look, I won't be able to be here.
Oh no, come please.
No, I do have to be going now.
Just put the birthday, because that's her. Quick, put it on. Put the birthday. And that is so cool. Are you going to see?
That's very nice of you, Kylie, but I really must be going.
But how are you ever going to get a first date with my mum? And if you don't ever have the first date, then you'll never get to be my stepdad. And I'll never be able to say, Paul Jennings is my stepdad. It's her. Quick, put it on. Put the birthday. And we'll sing, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mum. She's coming.
Happy birthday
To you.
Okay.
That's
Mum?
No, hang on. No, don't go. She wants to meet you.
Kylie
She
home?
really wants to meet you.
No, I
If
won't.
can't you just stay for a
Yes,
little while?
she's downstairs
I do have
with
to
Paul
go.
Jennings.
See you later.
Oh, don't go. Paul? No, can't you just stay? It's my mum's birthday and she'll be so wrapped if you could. Paul? Oh. Paul? Hey, Nan. Nan, send in Annie Griffiths. Paul Jennings is a total loser. Has Andy Griffiths got a wife?